This setting is absolutely impeccable. Looking out at the image that I see right now, I think this is an image that I hope to never forget for my entire life. The flowers, the lights, the sun, the mountains, the table dressings, the food and drink that are coming, they're all incredible, but they would be incomplete without all of you. What truly makes this weekend amazing is that we have everyone that Emma and I love and everyone who loves us all in one place, all by our side, as we take this massive step into the rest of our lives. So thanks so much for making the trip near and far, for being here. You're the reason that makes this so special, so thank you. But the biggest thanks goes to the person who really made all of this happen. My beautiful wife, Emma. She's worked for months to make sure that every single detail was really thought of and rethought of. I did not pick your napkin. But she's been working tirelessly for months. I think the work she's put in really shows, and I'm incredibly grateful for the work that you've done. I'd say we pulled it off as a team, but I think all of you that know me and know her know that she did all of the work. But we are a team. We often say it. We're a team. But what does that really mean? I want everyone to think back to when they were in school, and the teacher would be randomly assigning groups. Think about who you'd want to have in your group. For me, I'd want to have either my best friend, the girl I had a crush on, or the smartest kid in class. And with Emma, I truly have all three. She truly is the total package. And when we're together, when you combine her sense of humor, beauty, brains, drive, planning, cooking, caring, style, kindness, grace, and strength, and you combine those with my let's see, what do I bring? I have a Netflix password, and occasionally I can open tight jars in the kitchen. But what I'm trying to say is that we are a team, and I truly feel like our team is stacked. With you by my side, I feel like we can do anything. And I think that this wedding shows that what we as a team, can truly accomplish. As you've noticed by now, this wedding really has two sides. We started at a 5-star hotel, and now we're at a barn. And I think this really kind of acts as a metaphor for Emma's uncanny ability to have personality characteristics that would seem to be in conflict and in contrast of one another, but Emma pulls them off with ease and grace. For example, Emma is quite the planner. Emma will throw the most adorable brunch garden party you have ever been to. She has actually made ice cubes that have flower petals inside of them. That's the kind of thing you only see in magazines. No one actually does that in real life, but Emma can pull it off. But the same Emma will go to a football game in the rain and won't hesitate when given the opportunity to rush the field at the Coliseum after a big win. Emma is both organized and spontaneous. Emma is sophisticated. She has 2 master's degrees. She fits in when attending the ballet in London, and she drinks fancy tea. But if you play her favorite gangster rap song, she'll be able to sing along with every lyric. Emma is classy, but never stuffy. Some of the tribulations that Emma and her brother faced growing up meant that they've always been very mature for their age. Well, Emma, not Timmy. But Emma truly is an old soul if there ever was one. But she'll laugh harder than anyone at a well-timed fart joke. Emma is both wise and a child at heart at the same time. So I've really fallen in love with all these different sides of Emma over the past 6 years. And I can't wait to meet the sides of her that'll be coming out in the oncoming years. I can't wait to meet the side of Emma that turns our house into a home. And having watched you take care of Bill and Nick and Sage, I have no doubt that you'll be an amazing mother to our children someday. Today has already been so incredible. I can't wait to see what the rest of the night and the rest of our lives have in store. I'd like to make a toast to Emma and to all the rest of you who have been here and who are here to make this day incredibly special. So thank you.
Fornication. Sorry. For an occasion. An occasion for an occasion such as this. I wanted to thank everyone for helping out putting this wedding together. Emma, you look amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. Ben and I met at USC, and I can't remember the exact moment that we met, but I remember hearing a lot of stories from my friends before we did about Ben. A lot of stories. Things like, that guy Ben moved all his stuff into our kitchen pantry, and now he's living there. Other stories like, if Ben asks you to test ride that electric skateboard that he built for a school project, don't do it. By the way, for those of you guys who don't know, that school project later became an internet sensation called the Z-Board. And it did so well that Ben went on to run Z-Board full-time. I know how proud I am of Ben for all that he's accomplished, and I know that all of our friends feel the same way. Because, Ben, we always brag about you to our family and our friends, and the people that we work with. And the reason that we do that is because we think that you're so amazing, and what you've done is just, it's outstanding. Now, some people, you're going to hate this. Some people may think that Z-Board is the only venture that Ben launched. But you'd be wrong. Before Z-Board took the internet by storm, Ben actually tried to launch his career as a musician. Back in college, Ben wanted to be in a band more than anything. So he launched a fake band called The Local Birds. Let me reiterate. This was a fake band. They had no members. They produced no music. They had no instruments. For about 3 months during 2008, Ben made approximately 40 Facebook status updates regarding his fake band, The Local Birds. Here are some of his actual Facebook posts regarding the progress that his band was making at the time. Status update. Ben Foreman is going to see the Local Birds in concert at the Staples Center. Yay, 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 tell your friends. Status update. Ben Foreman is elated to learn that the Local Birds just went gold in Estonia. All that European touring paid off. Status update. Ben Foreman recently was approached by NASA with an offer for the Local Birds to play their first concert on the moon. He declined. Then, just when things were starting to heat up for the Local Birds, this happens. Status update. Ben Foreman was shockingly voted out of the local Birds when the decision was made to transform the Birds into a Jackson 5 cover band. So sad. How did that happen? So now, 2 years pass, there's no updates on Facebook about the local Birds. And so this happens. In 2010, picture surfaces. Things change a little bit. And it's shared by Ben's biggest and possibly only fan. It's a USC girl named Emma Morton Smith. Ben is pictured on stage, singing with a guitar. His hair looks great. Ben's fake band turns real with the help of a special woman. Ben's humor and creativity are just two of the many reasons why I love him. Ben always makes you feel like you're at your best. And if you spend just a little bit of time with him, you understand how special he truly is. He's a magnetic personality, and he treats people close to him like they're part of his family. Someone who wants nothing more than to make you happy. He wants to make you laugh, and he will show his persistent dedication to you, just like his senior year college project that he's been working on for the last 8 years, or his fake band that still exists today. Ben has made some great decisions in his life, but his best one is marrying Emma. Emma is one of the most sincere and loving people that you will ever meet. She's great at problem solving, which Ben has lots of problems, so this works out to his benefit. And she always puts other people first. Though Ben isn't as clever as Emma, she lets him think that he is, which also shows her kindness. With that said, I would like to make a toast. Here's to Ben and Emma Foreman. May you and the local Birds live happily ever after.
Hi, everyone. Ben, Emma, Ben, Bemma. This week has given me a new sense of appreciation for the love you share. And it's not just hearing your heartfelt vows and sharing this weekend with so many amazing friends and family. As some of you know, I had some bad luck this week and needed a place to stay. Ben and Emma generously offered their home on Chestnut Street in San Francisco. How amazing to stay in a house of love and reflect on the love and generosity of our growing family. Emma, you have brought us up many notches when it comes to family celebrations. Our family, the Foremans and the Swanbergs, and all the other last names that we've had in our family, have always liked to celebrate holidays, whether they're the American holidays, the Christian holidays, the Jewish holidays. But until you came along, there were no flowered ice cubes and no printed invitations for Thanksgiving. So you've really brought us up a whole bunch of notches. And for this, I'm so grateful because you've created a whole new level of loveliness into all these celebrations of family and marking all the milestones of the year. And in speaking with some of your family members, I've gotten a sense of where this comes from. And I've heard it comes from your mother, Ro, who was an amazing hostess, who kept a beautiful home, who was creative, and made everyone feel at home. Especially Nick, who I never had the chance to meet, but some of my nice informants in the audience told me that he would crawl everywhere and do everything, from the zoo to the pool and everywhere else. Despite severe medical limitations, he did everything and went everywhere thanks to the hospitality and love of the home. I also think of the many other mothers in your life, many of whom are here in this room tonight. I think of Tim and Cammie and the home that you have created with Malin and how you have welcomed us and all of us into your home on many occasions and made us feel at home. I think of your father, Bill, who gave everything he had to maintain the sense of home, despite all the health challenges. So hospitality runs deep in the Morton Smith clan. And I'm so glad that this hospitality comes to all of us here in this barn tonight. The love and care that you have put into creating a home has multiplied the joys and cushioned the setbacks, thanks to the space you create together. Ben, I remember teaching you how to climb out of your crib as a little boy. I remember letting you win because I didn't want to see you cry. But now, I see you as a grown man, a skilled entrepreneur, a loyal husband, and I couldn't be prouder. Here's to you, Ben and Emma, and the life you're building together. May you always come home to one another. May this love continue to radiate from you to multiply the joys and cushion the setbacks of all that have the great fortune to enter your house of love. I love you.
Again, I'm Emma's brother, but right now I'm going to be doing my best to speak on behalf of my dad. And I want to prepare you that I might cry like a baby, but I find if I set expectations low, I can only exceed them. As you may have pieced together, Emma and Ben had the secret wedding almost a year ago, and my dad wrote the following for that wedding, but also with this in mind. So here we go. First and foremost, on behalf of the Morton Smith family and the Foremans, I want to start by thanking you all for being here. It is a testament to Emma's and Ben's relationships with you all that you have taken the time out of your busy schedules, flown from all over the world, and you have paid the not-so-cheap room rate to be here in support of Emma and Ben in the first steps they are taking together as joining in husband and wife. I want to thank you all for the sacrifices you've made to be here tonight. I also want to thank all the people who have put their own time and effort into making this day as special as it has been, especially Timothy for that amazing ceremony. Okay, I added that. I did add that. In thinking about what I wanted to say to Emma, I couldn't help but think back to her favorite childhood movie, Father of the Bride. How fitting. When Emma was growing up, she must have watched that movie over 50 times. So I went back, watched it again, and have stolen some of Richard Banks's words, but have also added some of my own. I used to think a wedding was a simple affair. Boy and girl meet, they fall in love. He buys a ring, she buys a dress, they say I do. I was wrong. That's getting married. A wedding is an entirely different proposition. I know. We are all here because just over a week ago, life threw us a curveball, and I was admitted to the hospital with heart failure. My future was uncertain, but for Emma, there is only one thing she wanted to happen, for me to walk her down the aisle. My sweet little Emma was now doing things for me. You fathers will understand. You have a little girl, an adorable little girl who looks up to you and adores you in a way you could have never imagined. I remember how her little hand used to fit inside of mine. Then comes the day she wants to get her ears pierced and wants you to drop her off a block from the movie theater. From that moment on, you're in constant panic. And if the thought of raising a teenage girl wasn't enough, the unthinkable happens. I find out that Ro has cancer. I have never been a girly man like Timothy, so the thought of raising a daughter on my own was the scariest thought imaginable. What I didn't realize was that I wasn't going to be raising any run-of-the-mill daughter. I was going to be raising one of the most amazing daughters in the entire world. I made a video with Ro before she passed away, and in her words of advice to you, it was to always to remember to be kind, thoughtful, and giving. You have gone so far above and beyond our expectations and made us so very proud. I also know that Mommy would have wanted me to remind you that she has been with us all day and will always be the angel on your shoulder. Then, right as I come to the realization that I'm going to be fine raising this perfect little girl, high school kicks into full gear, and Emma starts meeting boys. Now I had a whole new set of worries. I worried about her meeting the wrong kind of guy, the kind of guy who only wants one thing, and I knew exactly what that one thing was because it's the same thing I wanted when I was their age. As their immaturity fades, so did mine, and I stopped worrying about her meeting the wrong guy and began to worry about her meeting the right guy. And that's the greatest fear of all, because then I knew I would lose her. Honey, I won't be around forever, but after today I'll be able to sleep easy, because my sweet darling Emma has found an amazing man to make sure she is always taken care of and treated like the princess she is. So please raise your glasses to my beautiful little princess and her knight in shining armor. Your mother and I love you more than you will ever know, and we will always be smiling down on you both. Cheers.
So this is a song that I wrote in the 2 hours before the August wedding. I wrote it in Bill's living room, and I wrote it on Bill's guitar. And sometimes it's easier to say things that are incredibly meaningful in a song. A Cinco de Mayo 2009 might seem like a while ago, but memories are crystal clear in my mind. You were across the street and I was peeking in between the blinds. Little did I know that that day would change my life. And from then till now, I've learned just how dang special you are. You always seem to find the bright side, even when things go sour. Your spirits are always high, whether in Lanai or on a 7-hour drive in the car. It ain't no mystery how you got to be just the way you are, the way you are. And I think some credit is due to those who made you. And I think some credit is due to those who made you, you. So to Ro and Bill, I'll say thank you, I will, every day of my life, for your beautiful gift of Emma Morton Smith, who's now Emma Foreman, my wife. From Montecito to Modesto, I will love you wherever we go. From Santiago and even Reno, I will love you wherever we go. From USC to Hermosa Beach, Stanislaus County to Chestnut Street. If you're with me, I'll be happy. If you're with me, I'll be happy. And I think some credit is due for those who made you, you. And I think some credit is due for those who made you, you. So to Ro and Bill, I'll say thank you, I will, every day of my life, for their beautiful gift of Emma Morton Smith, who's now Emma Foreman, my wife. Okay, this is the repeat after me section of the song. I'm going to sing a line, and then you're supposed to sing it back. Got it? So to Ro and Bill, I'll say thank you, I will, every day of my life, for their beautiful gift of Emma Morton Smith, who's now Emma Foreman, my wife. To Ro and Bill, I'll say thank you, I will, every day of my life, for their beautiful gift of Emma Morton Smith, who's now Emma Foreman, Ben's wife.
Honestly, Ben, that was amazing, and I am so glad that my dad had the opportunity to hear it, and on behalf of my mom and dad, I want to thank you for that. I know you're all getting sick of me, and I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to keep this short. For those of you who don't know me, you must have missed the wedding and be passed out drunk right now. But don't worry, I will soon be too. I am the man of honor tonight, an honor I felt very lucky to be bestowed upon me. That was until I realized I was the only man in the running. In all honesty, I feel so grateful to have been such a huge part of your wedding. I hope I've done everything in my power to make this day as memorable as possible. And don't worry, I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to start with Ben and save the best for last. Ben, since you graced us with your musical talent, I think it's only fitting that I share the story from the first time I met you. Emma had told me she'd met some guy from SC, and knowing what guys at SC do, I asked her how they met. I was quietly praying she didn't say I met him on a Thursday night at the Nino, because I know how that story ends. She proceeded to tell me that they've moved into a new house on Monmouth, and there was a group of boys that lived across the street that kept peering out of their blinds like super creepers. She figured they needed some encouragement, since the guys apparently were more interested in video games than girls. So they bought a paddling pool, all went out and splashed around in their bikinis. Even a good game of FIFA wasn't going to stop Ben from taking action. So Ben hopped on his Z-board, stripped off his shirt, rode by the girls once, and mustered up the courage to say hi. It's all history from there. Fast forward a few months, they'd been dating for a while. Emma convinced Ben and a group of his friends to come to Santa Barbara for the weekend, and of course we offered to have them stay at our house. Very quickly, the drinks began, and before we knew, we were playing King's Cup, a card game where a card is picked and you do a task according to the card. On Ben's turn, he picked a jack. House rules for a jack were bust a rhyme. Ben paused, looked me straight in the eyes, and said, "I flipped a card. It was a jack. Stretch my dick 12 inches and you still got slack." At first I was shocked, but as it slowly started to sink in, I thought to myself, this guy could be kind of cool. I like to tell myself that Emma has always been looking for a guy just like her big brother. Ben, you are as sarcastic, outgoing, hilarious, and ambitious as I could ever dream of being. You'll never be as good looking, but Emma had to compromise on something. Emma, the first time we met was a little different. I can't remember the details of the day, but I have seen the video evidence multiple times because when we were growing up, every time I tried to tell you you were adopted, you went crying to Daddy and made him show you the video evidence. While I was only little, the one thing I can remember was how much Mommy glowed having an amazing, perfect little girl. That was one of the happiest days of her life. Growing up, you were always the favorite. I'm not sure if it's because I was such a pain in the ass, me telling you were adopted is a perfect example, or because you were such a polite, amazing child. When I was 18 and Emma was 13, our mom got diagnosed with cancer, a battle she would end up losing. From that day forward, our relationship changed. We were forced to grow up way too fast. Apparently I wasn't, but... And while it was one of the hardest things we have both had to deal with, I think that's when we went from being brother and sister to best friends. Since then, we've been through a lot, but each time we have a high or a low, our relationship grows stronger. In thinking through what story about us best sums up our relationship, I had too many options. We've traveled the world. I thought back to the first time you asked me to buy you alcohol, only to return from the liquor store to find you'd polished off a whole bottle of mine, only to ask, "What was that?" And I responded, "Gin." Not something I'd want for my first drink. We've laughed through a sex show in the red light district in Amsterdam, something most brothers and sisters would never think of doing. But I came to the realization that what we have can't be summed up in one story. We have shared the best of times and we've shared the worst of times. We've hated one another and we've loved one another. But most importantly, we've grown together into the people we are today, and what an amazing person you've become. What I found that describes you the most is the people who have been with us throughout our journey. You are the easiest person to talk to and make friends with the greatest of ease. You get that from Mommy. You care about other people more than you care about yourself. You get that from Daddy. You live life to its fullest and treat every day as a gift, regardless of what might be going on in yours. You get that from Nick. You have thick skin and can put up with just about anyone's bullshit. You get that from me. And hopefully I've laid enough groundwork to prepare you for Ben. I've always looked at my role as your big brother as being the one looking out for you, and today I pass that on to Ben. Emma, I couldn't be happier that you met such an amazing man. Ben, I'm excited to be adding a brother to the family, and now I have another best friend. So I'd like to propose a toast. Can I borrow something? Thank you. If you're giving me water, am I getting cut off? Emma and Ben, you have angels smiling down on you today, and you are surrounded by friends and family who are wishing you a life together filled with love and happiness. Here are to my two new best friends.